Hey everyone, it is late at night and I am Norman. What happens when an electronics company that specializes in cameras, printers, and projectors decides to make watches? Brilliance. Tonight we're going to be looking at the Ricoh Charvale, so let's flip the camera around and take a look at this gorgeous watch. Here it is. Look at that. That is just gorgeous. So this watch came through on eBay and it was not inexpensive. However, I could not get it out of my mind. It looked absolutely gorgeous in all the photographs, and I simply had to know what it was like in person. And just look at how beautiful that is. So as I mentioned before, Ricoh specializes in electronics, printers, projectors, and cameras. However, they have created watches here and there and briefly partnered up with Hamilton Watch Company to create the Hamilton Ricoh electronic watch. They apparently produced watches in the 60s and 70s. However, this watch was listed as being produced in the 80s, and that time frame isn't mentioned in Wikipedia at all. But given the condition of this watch, I believe that it's definitely newer than 60s or 70s. When it arrived, I believe it was on just a genuine leather strap, so I immediately put it on a shell Cordovan, one of my Rios straps. I also put it on this matte finish buckle, which I think looks great with the almost gunmetal silver of the watch itself. As you can see, it's a square watch and it kind of curves out on the sides. The lugs are extremely short. If I remember correctly, it was not fun trying to get these pins in because of that, but they look really good. This is an extremely thin watch, and flipping it around, we see that the back of the watch is brushed. We have Ricoh Watch Co. So at one point, they actually listed themselves as a watch company. This is a Japanese-made watch. Looking at the crown, that thing looks so cool. It's really small, but this is a quartz watch, so you're not going to be using it very often. It has a pretty good grip on it there. So we'll pop this out. And we see that this movement hacks. So the seconds hand stopped there. It's kind of tough to get a grip on this crown because it's so small, but again, you're only going to be using it to set the time and then just leave it alone. Nice click there when it goes back in, and look at that little jewel. That is super cool. Looks so great. And you see the little steps there. What a great aesthetic. Also, there are steps on the case. It has a flat crystal on it, and this is actually listed as being a sapphire crystal, which is pretty cool. That looks so great. And look at that, Dauphine hands. I love it. It has sort of a charcoal textured dial there, and all the indices are applied and they're chrome, with a very subtle minutes track there. And the branding on the dial is in sort of a gray color, so that is also pretty subtle. In certain lights, everything on this dial kind of vanishes a little, but it looks really cool. You see that the seconds hand hits all the marks, which is great. This is such a classy, elegant design. I absolutely love it. As for the specifications on this watch, the case size is 38 millimeters because it kind of curves out and has that step in there. However, this does wear pretty small, so that's a little bit deceptive. The case height is 5 millimeters, super thin. The quartz movement inside this actually has 7 jewels. The case material is listed as being tungsten, and the crystal is sapphire. The lug width is 18 millimeters. So let me take the 36 millimeter Movado off of my wrist, and we'll see what the Ricoh looks like when you're wearing it. Here is the Ricoh Charvale on my 7-inch wrist. And look at how classy that watch looks. Look at how thin. Such a low profile on there. And I like that gunmetal color and the chrome indices in there. Just super dressy and classy and beautiful. That is gorgeous. So I'm really glad I ended up picking this up, even though it wasn't cheap. It was over a couple $100 for this. But what an amazing piece of history. A classy dress watch made by a company that doesn't even focus on watchmaking primarily. Gorgeous. So there you have it, the amazing Ricoh Charvale quartz dress watch. This was not cheap, but it is absolutely beautiful. Thanks for watching.